webinar with MGT. We have Dan here today. You cannot see him. He's having camera issues, but I promise you he is here. He is going to give you the full rundown on MGT, appetite, how to quote, all that good stuff. But before I release it to him, I am going to show you how to get to MGT in our portal. Right now, you're looking at our home screen. For INVO Underwriting, simply click Agent Portal at the top right-hand corner. It's going to prompt you to log into our portal. Once you are logged in, you are then on the products page. If you keep scrolling all the way down on our commercial carriers, you will see MGT right here. Make sure you do get registered with them if you have not, because you do have to get registered to be able to quote on their platform. But once you're registered, you should be good to go. But that's all that I have. I'm going to release it to Dan, and he is going to take over and give you all the full rundown.
Awesome.
Here you go, Dan.
Thank you so much for the intro. So apologies for the camera issues, but I assure you I am a real live human being, or at least after that first cup of coffee kicks in. Really appreciate you all taking some time for us today. Before I jump into my song and dance, Annalise is on the call with us as well. She works really closely with our agents. And so Annalise, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yes, hi folks. My name is Annalise. I work in partnership success, and I help a lot of agents get their policies bound, get in contact with underwriting, and anything really MGT policy quoting related. I'm a great resource for you folks.
And my name is Dan. I will be working with you closely as you get up and running with us, and am really excited today to share a little bit of the MGT story with you, and looking forward to learning more about you and your teams as you get on board with us as well. So let's just start at the top. Who is MGT? What do we do? We are an A- rated carrier. We write admitted BOPs on ISO forms for small businesses. We're writing about 250 to 300 classes of business. And if you're thinking what kind of risks might be a good fit with MGT, if you take a mental drive to your favorite grocery store, a lot of the businesses you pass by on the way are what would fit with us. We're a great fit for professional offices. We do a lot of medical office risks. We'll write your retail stores, wholesalers and distributors. We'll write barbershops, beauty parlors, nail salons, coffee shops, grocery stores, convenience stores, liquor stores, restaurants. So we've got a pretty broad appetite for small business, and it's growing constantly. So in probably about a month to 2 months, we'll be adding support for artists and contractors into the platform as well. So a lot of great stuff on the way, and stay tuned because we're really excited to grow and just meet more and more of your needs and help you cover more and more of the businesses in your communities. All submissions go in through our online platform. So we'll run through what that looks like shortly, but just very quick highlight is it is built for speed. It's built for ease of use. Over 80% of the policies on our books have gone from logging in to start the submission to policy bound and issued in 10 minutes or less. Ultimately, we hope that gives you more time in your day to focus on all the important things that come your way beyond just quoting, binding, servicing, renewing small business accounts. But we hope you don't have to make the trade-off there either, and you can do both.
Hey Dan, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you supposed to be sharing your screen right now?
I'll start sharing here in just a second.
Okay, just making sure. I just didn't want you to not be sharing it and you need to.
Yes,
okay.
No, that would definitely be awkward.
Perfect.
No, so here, actually, that's a wonderful transition. So let me go ahead and get myself set up for you, and then I'll start sharing my screen here in just a second. So I have got this pulled up to our dashboard. This does exactly what you would hope a dashboard would do. This is where you can start submissions out, and then you can also manage quotes that you and your team have been working on. And if you click up here into the policies tab, you can manage your book of business with us as well. Before we jump into the quoting section, just quick little detour here. We do have a variety of self-service features that are available both to you and to the policyholder. It looks like the drop-down boxes might not show on the screen share. That happens sometimes with different software. But I'm clicking on one of the drop-down boxes. There's an option that says View Self-Service, pretty self-explanatory. So we'll click that, and that takes us here into the policy management page. These tools, again, are available to you and to the policyholder. So we're trying to make this process easy and fast for everybody, not just for that first 10 minutes where we're quoting it, but really for that whole 365-day policy term. So let's click into the documents and communications page. I always like to show this off because it's a great resource. This has a full record of all the communications we've ever sent out on a policy. Every once in a while, I'll be helping out on the support chat. Someone will reach out and say, hey, I did an endorsement to add a building 3 months ago. Now I need to show that to the bank. Where do I go find that? And the answer is it's in this page. So you can find all the different endorsements, you can find billing docs, you can find policy jackets, all that good stuff is right in here. Also, you can use this page to create certificates. You can download declarations pages. And if you're working on maybe a multi-line certificate where we're writing the BOP and you've got other carriers for other lines, you can still come here and do a quick check and make sure that policy is active before you send that certificate out. Also in this page, we've got a payments tab. So you can view your payment history, you can update payment methods, make payments if you're not on auto pay. And then we have a claims tab as well, where you can file and track claims. From here, we'll click on the name in the upper right-hand corner. That takes us back into the dashboard. To start a quote out, first thing we'll do is select the industry. And this tool here is bringing a lot of value all on its own. It knows our appetite on a class code level, and it has some keyword search built in. So, let's say right after this webinar, you get a phone call from a roofer. You're like, wow, this is great. I can't wait to try it with MGT. Get it fired up, type in roofer. The platform knows that's a type of artisan contractor. And it also knows contractors are just out of appetite for us right now. So even though I personally would love to quote everything that comes our way, just make my job way too easy. And at least when it is out of appetite for us because of the class code, we're going to tell you right up front before you've really done a lot of legwork on the submission itself. But, on the other side of the coin, say you're talking to someone who owns a restaurant, type that in. That'll pull up a variety of different restaurant class codes. And then from there, you can find the one that best describes the risk. Once you've got the class code entered, next thing we'll do is enter the address. And so once you've got the address selected, let me see, sometimes in the demo system, it takes a minute to get this to accept it. All right, there we go. 19th time's the charm. So once we've got the address selected, we'll click go. And then in the next page, you'll see a street view of that location. This just gives you a chance to validate the risk, make sure, the parking lots and sidewalks are in good shape, make sure we've got the right address. You'd be surprised how often that comes up. You can double check details like the siding type, the roof shape. You can take a look on both sides, make sure there's no dynamite factories next door. And then we'll start to ask a couple questions to clarify the type of coverage we're offering. First question is, are there any buildings? Let's go ahead and say yes. And if we do have a building that we'll be quoting, the follow-up question is, are there any other exposures in that building? If the answer to that is yes, unfortunately, that also would be out of appetite for us, but it comes up so frequently, we wanted to give you that answer as soon as we can. So it's right up front in the quoting process. For our demo today, we'll say no. And then very similar question here about builder's risk. That is out of appetite for us, and so it would let you know that straight up. And once we've got everything selected, we can just click continue to start the quote out. I am going to just take a slight detour here, and I'm not going to make you all watch me type in all the answers as we go. Let me use a little TV magic, and I'll pull up a submission that's already been completed, and then you can see what the process looks like from here. Quoting with MGT is just 4 steps. In step 1, we'll fill in some basic information about the business. The class of business and the address are pre-filling from that last page. From here, pretty straightforward: name of the business, phone number, gross sales. For restaurants and a couple other classes, we do ask about alcohol sales. We'll get some information about the business owner, and then you can add any additional locations. We support a total of 4 locations. Click continue, and we'll go into the second page. And in this page, this is where we'll set the effective date. We'll answer a couple more questions about the organization. We'll share some information about their insurance history. It does get slightly more in-depth for restaurants. We want to make sure that they're run by a general manager that has some experience. For most other classes, we will accept brand new, straight up new ventures. But for a restaurant, we just want to make sure there's someone there who knows how to keep things running. Once we've got all that answered, we'll click continue. And looks like I need to update my demo submission. This is actually great. This happened. One thing to keep in mind is that we do not do same-day binding. So all quotes must be for at least tomorrow with the effective date. And so let's go ahead. We'll set this to Halloween. Hopefully nothing else scary will come up. We'll click continue here. Now we've got page 2, which is where we will start to answer some eligibility questions. This is going to be a pretty lightweight page in contrast to some that I've seen out there. We're only asking questions that are relevant to the risk, so it populates based on the class of business that we're quoting. And, this has 4 questions on it. That should be pretty easy to make it through in a normal conversation without really feeling like an interrogation. Even if you're quoting something where we want to dig in a little deeper, like a convenience store, even those just have 7 eligibility questions. So let's click continue here. And we are all done now with the eligibility page. Now we'll enter in some building information. And a quick tip I will share with you all, since you were so kind to join us this afternoon, this might save you a little time at some point. I see this happen occasionally where someone will start a submission out. They'll say, yes, we need building limits. And then by the time we make it here to page 3, turns out it's actually a rental unit. Good news, though, is that you do not have to restart your submission. In this top drop-down box, it's not showing on our screens here, but you will have an option that says business personal property contents only. Click that. That'll take the building limits out of that submission. It'll take a lot of these building information questions out. And then from there, you can proceed with a nice, easy BPP only submission. But even with the building information included, it's still not anything super complex or super detailed. How big is it? What's it made out of? When was it built? What's the roof look like? We do have a few questions about what's going on inside. And these do, again, get a little bit more in-depth for restaurants. We want to make sure that they've got, the right fire protections in place. We also offer a built-in replacement cost estimate. And this is a great tool just to make your life a little bit easier. But I do know sometimes these replacement costs can be a little bit of a fuzzy number. If you're working with a number that's just different from what our system thinks it should be, this is a free entry text box. You can put anything in here. We'll write up to $2 million total insured value per location with up to 4 locations per policy. We'll click continue from here. And then in the next page, you can add any additional insureds that need to be added. Click continue again. And now we're all done adding building information. Now let's take a look at some optional coverages. I call this the fun part. This list of optional coverages will also populate specifically based on the class of business, and sometimes its location can make a difference as well. And so we'll only show you coverages here that you can stand behind. So we'll select a couple of these and then click continue to get those added. There'll be a few underwriting questions. We'll set terms for these endorsements, but you can see there, not anything super long. Again, for restaurants, we've got some kind of coverage enhancements specifically for that business. So we'll set terms there, answer a couple eligibility questions, and then click continue again. Now we are all done. We've answered all the liability information, basic contact info, property information, added on a couple extra coverages. We'll click see your quote. When that circle starts to spin in the middle of the screen, that's where the magic's happening. Behind the scenes, it's running a bunch of different checks, it's scoring the risk, it's geolocating it. And in just seconds, we've got a quote back. Whereas if you had, sent old school paper applications to someone, you might still be waiting on them to see it in their inbox. For this risk, we've got pricing back either in quarterly installments or one annual payment. We are a direct bill carrier, so it keeps things easy that way. And then for quarterly installments, super straightforward, one down payment, 3 installment payments. And then for an annual payment, there is a little bit of a credit for that, and it'll tell you exactly what that works out to be as well. I know everyone on this call has probably seen a million pages that look just like this. So the only thing I'll really highlight here is that the optional coverages and sublimits that are available to you will only show you bindable limits. It's not going to show you deductibles or coverages that just aren't available. So anything you get back out of this at the end of the process is a quote that you can stand behind. Once we've got everything selected, we'll click continue. That's going to lock in our options here. You'll see those boxes now are grayed out. We've got the print quote button. That just takes all this information, puts it into a nice, neat PDF you can send out as part of your proposal. And then just scroll down to the bottom of this page. If we need to make any changes, you can always click previous and go back. And then once they're ready to move forward, just click confirm and purchase. In this next page, you'll have the option to either send a payment link to the prospect or collect their payment information live. We've just found that a lot of folks prefer being able to enter it in themselves. They don't always like to share credit card details over the phone. And I've also heard from a lot of our agents that this just works really well into their workflow. They've got someone they can trust to follow through. They'll just send them the payment link and then wait for that payment confirmation to come through. To do that, just confirm their email address, verify this information's correct, and click send to prospect. They'll get a secure payment link. When they open that link, or if you prefer to collect the information live while you've got them on the phone or in your office, just click purchase now. And from here, it's super straightforward. Just select annual or quarterly, e-check, credit, or debit. Enter in the payment information, billing zip code. Auto pay is automatically selected. You can deselect it, but we do see a lot of cancellations and reinstatements for policies that weren't on auto pay. And it can be a little risky if we don't notice that it canceled for a while, don't reinstate it in time. So just something to be aware of. From here, all that contact info is pre-filling. You just confirm their email address, agree that they are indeed allowed to purchase the policy, and then click submit payment. One thing I didn't show you is signing applications, and that's because we don't require signed apps to bind. There is a link here that says print my application. You can print it out. You can absolutely have it signed. You can retain that for your records. You don't need to send it to us though. And if you're in a last minute bind kind of situation, and that would be the one thing that holds you back, you don't have to let it hold you back either. Once you click submit payment, that'll take you into the next page, which will let you know that this policy has been bound and issued. Within about 60 seconds, you'll have access to all the policy documents in that self-service page. We'll also send an invitation to the policyholder so they can create an account and access those self-service features. And then from there, shoot over proof of insurance to any landlords or lenders or job holders who need it. Move on to the next thing on your to-do list. So I think this took about 12 to 15 minutes with me narrating along the way. Luckily for you all, that is not built into the platform, so it'll be a little bit faster when you're in here on your own. And I would encourage you, after this call, jump in, give it a shot. Let us know what you think. We're super open to your feedback. We know that we're not going to build the world's best insurance company on our own. We're going to do it by listening to agents like you who are interested in working with us. And we hope to build something that just makes your life even better, that helps you insure the businesses in your community, helps those businesses stay safe, stay protected, sleep at night, not worry about putting food on the table for their family if something goes wrong. And that's really what we find a lot of meaning in. We really appreciate this opportunity to partner with you. So I don't see any questions in the chat, but we're very happy to take some questions. We could do a little Q&A. So if you do have any questions, there is a box. For me, it's kind of in the upper right-hand side of the screen, little speech box with a question mark inside. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to ask any questions in there.
And Jen, if you don't mind, I'm just going to jump in real quick and state, if you folks have any questions about our appetite or you need support at MGT, you can go to our website. We have the support function on the bottom right corner. That's our customer service support. You can live chat. We have an AI bot that helps us when we're away from hours, but we do have a dedicated customer service team that's here to help you guys if you need anything. And then we also have an appetite agent, Amy, here. Let's say it's like midnight or something, you're trying to understand our appetite a little bit more. You can use this appetite agent to kind of understand our basics of our appetite, what is in, what is out. It's just a great resource that we provide here. We're really looking to advance our technology, use AI, and really move the insurance industry forward and our platform forward. So those are the two ways you can get in contact with us via chat. But you can always call or email us. We're here to support. We use technology to help support, but there's always a human behind that technology. So just wanted to point that out to you folks.
No, that was fantastic. And yeah, I don't see any questions here, so I will give you a couple quick pointers of things that might be a little bit interesting about our appetite that won't necessarily jump out to you if you just are taking a look at the appetite guides. One thing I see really make an impact in certain areas is the way we underwrite property. We actually do not have a specific limit, a specific age of construction that we're looking for. So we can write older, well-maintained locations, even if they were built 1900s, 1920s, 1950s, and they'll get great coverage too. Special form replacement cost coverage. Coastal areas, I think, can be an interesting area to think about us too. We don't always write building limits in those areas. If that's the case, you'll find out actually in the second page of that quote where you indicate whether we need building limits or not. We do, however, write BPP in our BOPs right up to the waterfront. When we do that, there's no mandatory wind hail deductible. So it can be a really nice play, I think, to have the contents, the general liability exposure, if it's a restaurant or something along those lines, the liquor liability exposure too. Nice, easy, admitted, direct bill, and then maybe find surplus lines placement for the building itself. So excellent. I don't see any questions still, so we must have done a pretty good job today.
I'm seeing one question. I have like a questions box, and I'm seeing one question, and it said, I created a login a while back, but when I tried to click on start quote, it just takes me back to the sign-in screen. Anyone I can reach out to about making sure I have the account created correctly?
Yes, I have seen that happen sometimes. Very long story in a very short way. There's a hiccup somewhere behind the scenes and some data didn't get connected the way it needs to. We'll get you taken care of. If you wouldn't mind, just email us at support@mgtinsurance.com or just go to mgtinsurance.com and click the chat support there in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. We'll get your contact info and we'll finish getting you set up so you can have access today.
Okay, that was the only question. They said thank you. So I guess that will answer their question.
Awesome. Well, thank you too. I appreciate you bringing that up. And
Absolutely.
if that happens to anyone else, same instructions. Just let us know, support@mgtinsurance.com or through the chat support box there. We'll make sure we get you set up ASAP.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like there's any more questions anywhere. So guys, like you said, if you have any questions, you can reach out to them or reach out to that support email. But if that's all the questions that we have, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you all so much for being here, Dana and Annalise.
Yep, thank you, folks.
Absolutely. Thank
And
you
this
too.
is
It's great
recorded.
seeing everybody.
Yes, and this is also recorded. So if anybody got here late or anything like that, this will be posted on our YouTube channel. So yeah, if you don't worry if you were late to this, it will be posted.
Awesome. Thank you, folks, so
Awesome.
much for joining us.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great Wednesday.
All right, bye-bye.